take notice. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. This is a initiative of Bridging Continents, and we're here together for a Bioregions activating ceremony. And the beauty of that is that we all have our bioregions. We do not have to bring them, we just can be in them. And this is also where we want to bring you today in your own bioregion, because it starts with us. It starts where we are at this moment. So I would really love to invite you, us, to give voice to just as a check-in where you are at this moment. What's the name of the place where you are? And of course, what's your name? And maybe you can give just one word to what you feel at this moment so that we can really arrive in the moment. And we can do that pop-up style. Whoever wants to start can start.
Well, I'm Hasina, and I'm in and from Newcastle, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, and just feeling a sense of letting go and surrendering constructs that don't really exist, and just being in oneness, like oneness with Mother Earth, oneness with the land, and with fellow beings, because we're all connected. Yeah.
This is Amélie. I am born in Amsterdam. I live in Amsterdam, Holland, in the Netherlands, close to the sea. I was brought up closer even to the seaside. I feel that I am where I belong to be now.
I'm Brian, and I am presently living in California, in the land that was of the Chumash native peoples. And I feel that I am a world citizen, and I can comfortably be with all people in wherever they live as a brother and a lover. So happy to be with you all.
Yeah. This is Annelies. I'm calling in from the Netherlands also, close to Amsterdam, a 20 minutes ride with a car. And the village I live in is Biesland, Vreeland. It's close to the river de Vecht. I was not born there, but I almost feel like I'm, as they say here, you're a Vreelander, because you cannot be a Vreelander when you were not born there. but I live long enough here to be one with who lives here and was born here. Thank you for taking the invitation to come to this ceremony in which we activate bioregions over and over again, maybe. But that's the beauty, that we can expand. And I wait a minute because thank you for coming, joining us. Oh wow, we've just been checking in, so we love to ask you to check in and check in with your name and the place where you are. And maybe a sense of how you feel, but we can see that how you feel.
Yeah. Hello. Everybody knows me here. I don't have to introduce me. Or should I introduce?
We are recording, so
Oh.
that you
Oh, I see. Hello, everybody. In the recording, hearing this, my name is Suzanne Casakreuser. I live in Switzerland, between Zurich and Aarau. Nice to see you all. I'm happy to be here with you for a while, and yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Great. Well, let's activate. I would invite us to go into silence for, well, 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. And just after that, let yourself be guided to a place which is to be your bioregion. And after that, we will all have the possibility to reveal some of that so that we all can be with each other in that place so that we can really feel where your bioregion is and what it's about, and also what the essence of that will be. Today we will not have a very long ceremony. We will be working within the hour, and there's one part that we all give voice to our bioregions, and there also will be the beautiful stitch of Amélie in which she takes the golden thread and stitches it all together into oneness. So just inviting you to relax now and sit, and if you like to close your eyes, you're most welcome to do that. And just imagine that you are at this moment standing at a place where you most love to be. This special, special place which is maybe not so far away. And I invite you, after some silence, to look around and see what is there. What does it look like? Let's go a moment into silence for that. So now you have been looking around a little bit in this space. That's your bioregion. I invite you to bring your attention to your feet and really make contact with the earth where you are standing now. Imagine. And then sense in, let it come to you. What is what you feel? Is that some water or the wet grass? Or are you standing in soil? Maybe you feel rock under your feet. So make contact with that. Can you feel that it is also resonating with you? So now that you've brought your attention to the ground, can you make a little effort to go somewhat deeper in this Mother Earth? Ground yourself even a little bit further. So, where's your energy when you do that? And I invite you to connect with the place that you are in your imagination. Why this place? What makes it that it is this place? What can you see and what can you sense or smell? Or is there a specific field of energy that you feel? Or is there a stream? Or is there anything that makes you happy in particular? That expands the sense of love for that place? What is it? Is that because you know that so well? Or is that you meet a freshness you never experienced before? Or is it because you're so free there? And there might come all kind of different images or senses. Allow yourself to really, really explore the premises of this bioregion. Maybe you want to sit down in it or lie down. Maybe you want to say something to it. Or is this a place where you find comfort when times are rough? So I invite you to inquiring to the essence. What might be the essence? Does it want to reveal that to you? It can be anything. Let it come to you. Is there maybe a message for you? So maybe you can sense in if this is a space where you feel expanded or that it is expanded. Or is it small? Or is it... What's the holding of it? Well, in some moments I invite you back to come back to the room and just silently open your eyes and connect again with each other. But to bring something from that space, imaginary, but what would you bring from that space so that we can all see, feel, touch with our eyes what you brought from that space, which is your bioregion. It might be a story even. It can be the sound. It can be the rain. But what is it what you'd like to bring? What deeply touches you from that space, which is essence to you? If you're ready, please come back now. And if you feel you want to say something, as everyone is coming back, the invitation is to share. How did your bioregion look like? What does it sense like? And what is the essence? What did you bring for us?
Oh, I'll share. That was so beautiful because it took me back to when I was a child. And well, I have to share this in order to share what I brought. I learned at about 8 or 9 years old, we were learning about how Mother Earth has, she has a crust and then the core, I can't quite remember the outer core, the inner core, and so on. And I thought at that age that if I just grabbed my little spade and every day I dug a little bit, maybe I could get to know Earth's surface and then the outer core and the inner core and, just be in contact with that. So that was how I felt. And what really felt especially special to me was that I could touch our planet. I could touch the ground of the earth, and there's a smell of You know, when you're a child and you're making mud cakes or you're digging holes in the sand, in the soil, and you have a watering can and you're wetting that soil and you can smell that earthy smell and the water and also that the grass, you know, when it's so green and you end up with your clothes having these grass smears, which really brings out that scent of the grass. So I just got a smell of that. And I've always kind of held that. So whenever I felt something under my feet, whether it was some people call them ladybugs in some countries, ladybirds, you know, these little creatures, creatures like that, and you'd feel the grass moving and you'd feel these little creatures. It always felt like a connection, like a dance, you know, with Mother Earth. And the closest that I've had to that as an adult, and I just realized it, is it's still in my present bioregion, but it's a few kilometers up the road. And this particular farm, it's a forest. It's called Nkandu Forest, and they even have spring water, which is bottled, and it tastes good. So just being there, I remember going with my friend who's a licensed bird ringer and just literally sitting there and playing and hearing the stream, and there were the birds, and it actually brought that back to me. So thank you so much for that beautiful meditation.
Thank you for taking us to our childhood. Hello, dear Juliet. We went into a space of inquiring into our bioregion and sensing what's the essence and bring that out again. So maybe you want to connect a little later as we all shared so that you can sense into that and have some time.
I can share where I am and connection to the past, a couple of threads that I will weave together. One, there was a movie that I saw as a child called Lost Horizons, and it was about Shangri-La. It was about a village in Tibet where people didn't age. And so in my midlife, I was living in Washington State near Seattle, and I was exploring my life as a stone sculptor. I would forage stones that nature was making accessible to me. And at one point, I received a commission, and it was approaching a seasonal time that wasn't very friendly for carving a big sculpture. And so I came to California to a studio stone yard where I could work. And very close to that stone yard was a city called Ojai, California, which is where I presently live. I should say we presently live. Lisa's still partnering with me. And so Ojai, I discovered, was a place where Annie Besant had come to live. And she saw the Ojai Valley here as a place of, like, the future humanity would evolve here. And so the creation of the Theosophical Society and then bringing Krishnamurti to this area as a potential savior for humanity. And he didn't want that role, and so he created a life here in Ojai. And many, many people came here. So in 2011, Lisa and I came and visited this area. And an artist who we were visiting said, you might really enjoy this sculpture that I created called a peace portal. And I had created peace portals myself. And I said, where would we see it? And he said, it's at Meditation Mount. Where's that? Oh, it's in Ojai. So I said, we're going to go see that. And we get to Meditation Mount on April 11th, 2011. See, there's some 11s in there connecting us to 1111. And we go to the main building. There wasn't anybody there, and we read about this place that they broke ground on April 11th, 1971. So this was the 40th anniversary day. And the mission of Meditation Mount was to give the gift of peace to the world through meditation. And we were the only ones there on this anniversary. It already was giving us chills that we had been guided by spirit to this place. And I said to Lisa, let's walk through the peace portal. And it entered us through walking through the portal into the International Garden of Peace. And I said to Lisa, here's our garden. And we walked to the very end, and there was a bench that we sat on, and it overlooked the entire Ojai Valley. And you could see onward, maybe 14, 15 miles away, the ocean. And it was a beautiful spring day. And the orchards of citrus, lemons and grapefruits and oranges were in blossom. And the scent came and completely intoxicated us. We sat looking at the bench, sitting on the bench, looking out of this land. And we said, this is it. This is our spot. This is our land. My earbuds have just died. Excuse me. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, one will be enough. So here we are. We moved here a few months after that. And I want to just share that there was an experience here, having lived in Washington for 20 years, that there was less
density, less consumption of energy systems, and it was an area that promoted dark sky. Keep your lights off at night. No street lights at night. And somehow, especially with the spiritual background of this community, that there was a connection from the earth to spirit, with us living in the space between and accessing what this place was for us. And though we moved away 2 years ago to live in Poland and then to come back here, so it still feels like home. It still feels like the city of peace that we generated back in 2014. And I just love seeing your faces again. It has been a while since leaving Poland. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mhm. Well, I can continue because it's a little thread from Brian's Krishnamurti to my place of where I was as a child. That was in the east and the northeast of the Netherlands, where I was brought by my father because he loved sailing. And so we had this little land. And to come to that land, you have to drive through all the kinds of small roads in the east of the Netherlands because there were no big roads yet. And then you passed Ommen. OJ Ommen was the domicile of Krishnamurti when everyone still wanted him to be the teacher. And where he said, "Thank you for offering me this beautiful place, and I return it back to you." So, and it's still a beautiful place because the energy is still there. But that was only driving through. So my little place where I feel this is part of my bioregion is a wetland. I connected there with the animals, and were indeed the little bugs. I always felt my feet in the wet grass. And what I loved was that the farmers were up early. They had just a few cows, and I could come with them and milk the cows and bring the milk of the mother to the calves. And if I could, I was always in this little, they called it water beuk. It's a tree. I don't know the name in English, but it can grow in the water. Like, it doesn't matter that their feet are too wet. And I like that a lot. It looks a little bit like the trees behind you, Juliet. They can be really have different forms. what I liked about there is that I could really sense in the connection with the smallest animals. So I was always in these woods looking out for smallest insects. And at a certain point, I decided it would be lovely to have a little farm um, of butterflies. But of course, then I first had to find their, what's it called? I do not know the word now. What's it called? The pre-stage of the butterfly. I do not know. Rups, but we know
Caterpillars.
caterpillar. Yes, the beautiful word. And I can still remember because I had a little bit too much in little. I did not want to capture them, but more like to save them. I was thinking of saving them. So I saved them, but then I touched them, and all these hairs really itched me. So I also so can remember that it was not only beauty that I came across, but it was also really learning, like, don't touch it. And especially my mother liked to remember me of that because they had 3 weeks of a holiday in the year, and we had to go home because I was under all these red bulbs. And but still it's a place where I feel that I came into the same as I'm now experiencing as reality, that it's boundaryless and that I could experience this freedom. I learned to cycle there. I learned to go to the farmer and ask if I could help him. And um, it was like expanding my world without any boundaries. And this is what I still long for. And actually maybe always live with. It's actually also between us. I always feel that it's fluent. If I know you for life. If I meet you, it's always there. I do not have to think of you. You are there. And that's this sense of expansion that I had in this world as well. That I thought, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. And so the essence of that, what I take to you is freedom, the freedom of the bioregion. Thank you so much.
I can share where I wasn't going back to my childhood, where I thought I was going to be at seaside. Normally I do, to go to a favorite place. I immediately was in the middle of Holland. There is a lot of woods. There is the Green Heart. I have a little summer house there. I spend my time there often. I was immediately in that woods, leaning with my back to a tree, a beach. There's many beech trees. And the moss, the knot, the soft, is that not? The knot, is that a word?
Moss.
The moss, like on these trees,
The
yeah?
moss, yes,
The
moss, soft, and with my bare feet and feeling it. And also to my amazing, I was seeing all these little creatures and the ants and little moving, and there was that feeling what I have still often when I'm there, of it's silent there. There's no people sometimes, but mostly this in-between feeling of worlds, because it's so natural there. It's not touched by the violence of the world, let's say. It's virginal feeling and in between worlds, and I see the sunlight coming to the trees. I feel underground, all this connection. I see that sunlight, and it starts shining and shining, and then I feel sort of creatures around. As a child, I saw them. Now it's more a feeling. And then I was looking at the ground again because Annelies was leading us there to connect deeper. I felt this is where I belong. This is my place. This is peace. There is no harm. I'm safe here. And I was always, as a child, going to trees and to feel safe and to feel at ease and to relax. And I could cry or laugh or dance around the tree. I totally feel free. I still do that, still up till today. So it's such a nice feeling. I love it. And then there came as a present one little beech nut. It's a very small tree and angled. I could even the feeling of that brown skin. And I remember suddenly this was always in my pocket. Many times I could pick up a chestnut dot or something little, always put in my pocket, and the whole the way walking to school, or even now I have one in my pocket. I have it. I have always something in my pocket from nature, and I had always in my hand and my fingers touching it, and seeds or lavendel, or always. So that was a very good feeling. So, oh, all my life I am with my bioregion wherever I am, always. Yeah, so happy feeling. Thank you. I love nature.
Well, Juliet, if you like to share your connection with your bioregion, also honoring time, but I feel that we can expend 5 minutes more because we started a little later, if that's okay with you all. And then please take your time, no rush.
Yeah, actually, just today when I was in communion with nature, when I'm going, I cross this river where Grandmother Beach is, and then I go up to through an area where I realized quite a while ago that this this was my home. I was a nature spirit there. And it's my home, and I know them all so well. And when I was a very small child, my parents lived in the first house where they had a hedge all around the house, and I used to crawl into that before I could walk, and I would just spend all my time in there. And I realized that I was going back to this place, that this was where I was going to, and I recognized it. So I always kind of sing and dance as I go through, singing with them and dancing with them. And then today, when I came through, I was just suddenly realizing that even if things change completely, and if I don't see them again, or if I'm not with them anymore in this incarnation, that they're all within me. I carry them. They've always been there. And I am in them and they are in me. So no matter what happens, I'll always know anytime I want to contact them, I just have to go inwards and they'll be there. Thank you. And Brian, it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a treat, an 11/11 treat.
These are so beautiful essences we brought to the surface, and I'm so grateful for that. I do not want to give that any more words, and would love to invite Amelie just to bring her beautiful needle with a golden thread and see what she wants to weave to us. Thank you so much. And we can go in silence after that if you like. Thanking Rosina for making it possible to be here as always. Thank you.
Yes, as we shared all these beautiful images from inside, there is, of course, one tone connecting all of this. This is love. So you can bring the feeling what you just brought within our group inside. A soft, golden light finding its way, spinning around. Stitching a little knot in your heart. As Juliet said, it's always there. You just have to go there. It's always there. It has always been there. From before and after you live. Connecting all of us with all living on earth and beyond. From ancestors to future beings. We are all connected. From our origin of love beings. Without any effort. As we also breathe. Our heart is beating, earth is beating. Seas are moving. It's one flow of love and light leading to peace. This is the dream.
And before you do that, I just want to add one tiny little essence. And that we may remember just now that this love that we are is us as a new Homo Amor Universalis. And what we just did now was bring our energy of love and peace into this place where we are right now, in this bioregion. So please just feel that, and that this earth grid is now this acupuncture point that connects us all, that gets this energy through us, and that gives us the energy, and that we can bring all new human to these places.
One more time from Brian.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you.